studying your last two. I swim med when they turned in. The staring down to mute. And can learn the pole that sunk he died.
Before declaring any dividend, the very first question you should ask is not how much tax can be saved. The first question is whether the shares actually have the legal right to receive dividends. Many beginners assume that if a corporation has profits and the owner wants money, a dividend can simply be paid. However, dividend planning always begins with a review of the corporation's share structure. To perform this review, you should examine key corporate documents such as the Articles of Incorporation, the Corporate Minute Book, share certificates, shareholder registers, and any shareholder agreements. These documents tell you who owns which shares and, more importantly, what rights those shares carry. This step is critical because not all shares have the same dividend rights. Some shares may be entitled to dividends, while others may have restrictions, limitations, or special conditions attached to them. Failing to review the share structure can create several problems. A dividend could be declared on the wrong class of shares, resulting in an invalid dividend declaration. Money could be paid to a shareholder who is not legally entitled to receive it. The corporation could become non-compliant with corporate law requirements, and the Canada Revenue Agency may scrutinize the transaction more closely. For tax professionals, there is also professional liability risk. If dividend recommendations are made without reviewing the share structure, errors can lead to costly corrections and potential legal issues. The key takeaway is simple. Before calculating dividend amounts, before preparing resolutions, and before considering tax planning opportunities, always confirm that the intended share class actually permits dividend payments. Dividend planning starts with structure, and reviewing the share structure is the foundation of a compliant dividend strategy. One of the most important concepts in dividend planning is that not all shares have the same rights. Many people assume that if someone owns shares in a corporation, they can automatically receive dividends. In reality, dividend rights depend on the specific share class that the person owns. Think of a corporation as a building with multiple classes of ownership. Each class of shares can be designed with different rights, restrictions, and privileges. This means two shareholders in the same corporation may have very different entitlements when it comes to dividends. The most common share class is common shares. Common shareholders typically have voting rights, dividend rights, and a residual claim on the corporation's assets. These are often the standard ownership shares issued to founders and active business owners. Preferred shares are different. They are frequently designed to provide special rights, such as priority access to dividends. In some situations, preferred shareholders may need to receive dividends before common shareholders can receive anything. Many private corporations also have special share classes, often called Class A shares, Class B shares, or similar names. These shares can be customized to provide flexible dividend rights and are commonly used in family-owned corporations. However, the exact rights attached to these shares can vary significantly from one corporation to another. This is why reviewing the Articles of Incorporation and related corporate documents is so important. The name of a share class does not automatically tell you what rights it carries. The legal documents determine the actual dividend rights. The key lesson is simple but critical. Dividend rights depend on the share class, not the shareholder. Before recommending, declaring, or paying any dividend, always verify the rights attached to the shares. A proper review of the share structure helps ensure that dividends are paid legally, correctly, and in accordance with the corporation's governing documents. Even after confirming that a share class has dividend rights, the review is not over. Many corporations have special restrictions and priority rules that can significantly affect how dividends are paid. One common restriction is a dividend cap. Some shares are designed with limits on the amount of dividends they can receive. For example, a share may be entitled to a fixed dividend rate or a maximum annual return. In these situations, the corporation cannot simply pay any dividend amount it chooses. The dividend must remain within the limits established by the share terms. Another common issue involves preferred shares. Preferred shareholders often have priority rights over common shareholders. This means that before dividends can be paid on common shares, the corporation may first be required to satisfy the dividend entitlements of the preferred shareholders. These restrictions are not always obvious from the share certificate itself. That is why a thorough review of the corporation's legal documents is essential before any dividend planning takes place. A good review process should include examining the articles of incorporation, shareholder agreements, corporate minute books, and share registers. You should identify all share classes, understand the rights attached to each class, and determine whether any restrictions, caps, or priority rules apply. You should also confirm exactly who owns each share class and verify that the intended recipient is legally entitled to receive the dividend. Finally, document your review in the working paper so there is a clear record supporting the decision. The key lesson from this slide is that dividend planning starts with structure. Before focusing on tax savings, tax rates, or compensation strategies, first understand the rights and restrictions attached to the shares. A proper share class review helps ensure that dividends are paid legally, correctly, and in accordance with the corporation's governing documents.